Welcome back to NBC3 News at 6. Every winter, lake effect snow dumps heavy snow over much of central New York, especially to the east of Lake Ontario.
As our extreme weather series continues tonight, First Alert meteorologist Matt Stevens joins us from an area that sees as much as 300 inches of snowfall every year. And thankfully for Matt, it has not started to snow there yet. Matt.
Hey there, Matt. A very good evening to you. Hopefully we got our microphone issues ironed out. It is a little breezy. I can see that live shot mask going back and forth a little bit. But what we were talking about earlier is the fact that I'm standing in Williamstown on one of the more popular routes to travel during the middle of winter when we actually have the lake effect snow going. It's a snowmobile route, but when it comes to lake effect snow, it's really not all fun and games. There's some critical stuff that we do both as meteorologists and road crews have to deal with, and it won't be long before right up here in Williamstown, they're buried in snow.
There are a few things you can count on every cold weather season here in central New York. One radio station will start playing Christmas music way too early. Sing it! Destiny USA will get jammed up with holiday shoppers. And you can count on lake effect snow somewhere in central New York. Lake influence is a year-round way of life here in central New York. The stable lake air can help produce lake effect sunshine on a hot summer day. During the fall, we often see lake effect rain and graupel. But where does it get extreme? Well, most of us agree it's lake effect snow.
It is unique, okay, especially if you're talking about the Tug Hill. There's no place else in the world where you're going to get snow to the amount of the Tug Hill, what they get, 250, 300 inches annually on an average. And there's no place else in the world that'll give you that much snow with such a localized event like lake effect.
This highly localized nature of lake effect snow makes for very tricky forecasting. While most viewers know that lake effect has something to do with the temperature difference between the lake and the air, that's merely the tip of the iceberg.
But that's only the start. That's the easy part, okay? The temperature, the amount of moisture available, then you got to talk about wind direction. And probably most of the viewers know that. But you've got, you're going to get your strongest band when you have a uniform wind direction, okay? And that's uniform not just at the surface, but several thousand feet up. A wind direction that's not going to vary that much.
On average, our first inch of snow is picked up at the Syracuse-Hancock Airport around November 17th, and our last inch of snow is picked up around April 3rd, with nearly half of the year being fair game for those lake effect variables to come together perfectly. No wonder keeping the roads clear is such an arduous task.
Our plow trucks, the beat, the time it takes to return to that same spot, is between 1.5 to 2.5 hours. In a significant lake effect snowstorm where one band will just stay put and give you 4 inches an hour or 5 inches an hour, it becomes challenging. If the trucks return to that spot every hour, even there's 4 inches of snow on the road.
The state has set aside $295 million for snow removal this year statewide. That money is broken up into fuel costs, the maintenance of the trucks themselves, the parts required, and even some municipal contracts for snow removal. However, easily the bulk of that money purely goes towards labor.
We're in snow readiness from November 1st to April 1st, and we're in that way 24/7. You never know when you're going to get an extended storm or you need to have coverage. So we have crews ready to go, 2 shifts, regular 8-hour shifts. They could stay an extra 4 hours before the next crew comes on. So you could have coverage around the clock if necessary.
And speaking of keeping an eye on things and coverage around the clock, something we've been watching in the CNY Central First Alert Weather Center is the fact that we've only picked up about a trace of snow so far this year, at least at the Syracuse-Hancock Airport. Now, typically by this time of the season, this early part of the season, we'd have about an inch of snow. As we mentioned in the piece, we typically pick up our first snowfall event that produces an inch of snow right around November 17th. So it's fair game to say that even up here in Williamstown, we're on borrowed time. Probably within the next couple of weeks, I think we're going to be fair game to see a little more white around here up in Williamstown. Reporting from Williamstown on the snowmobile trails, I'm CNY Central First Alert meteorologist Matt Stevens.
Won't be long now.
Can't wait. Thank you, Matt.